We are calling the meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order, Monday, March 26th. Open session public meetings are subject to being videotaped. Your voice and image may be recorded. All right.
Oh, as the vice chair, I was told that we might want to take this out of order because Eloise is here to
Notarize.
Oh, sure.
notarize.
Yes, okay.
She's just in the other room, I guess.
That's splendid. Okay. And Peg, do you have something to, or either of you have something you want to talk to us about? Okay. I was going to say,
Just have too much time on
I was going to say cable out or something, you know. Yeah, I was just going to say we could deal with that if you had something. All right. How are you, Eloise? All right. Okay, so we are signing the purchase and sale agreements regarding the conservation easement and limited recreational easement to the Benson Farm, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And this has already been executed by the Conservation Commission, so we don't have to inquire whether they've had a vote on this. I would accept a motion to execute the purchase and sale agreements regarding the development rights and access to the Benson Farm.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
No?
All right. Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And this is the execution of the conservation restriction, which is a conservation restriction that will run to both the Berlin Conservation Commission and Sudbury Valley trustees. This again has already, I believe, been executed by the Conservation Commission. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 There's two of them?
Yep, there's two of them. I'll give you that one. Okay, so we'll get those over there.
One signature.
Yep, just one signature, 2 copies.
It's only these two purchases, so it's not.
Okay,
You can take it.
we'll just keep them all together.
There's actually a couple more.
Yeah, you want to take,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you want to hold the whole folder.
yeah, I'll give you the whole
The green
folder
folder.
here. Because it has the donation agreement, which we didn't have to sign.
Okay,
All righty.
thank you.
Thank you. Do we have minutes?
Yes.
Yes, I figured I'd shuffled them under while I was moving everything around here. Just a moment. There's the row. There we go. Okay, we have the minutes for the March 19th meeting, open session, all present. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Any comments, questions, corrections?
Good.
All right, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next, we have, it's the problem with taking things out of order. I get them out of order permanently here. But,
Should have red flag on it, the refund. Yep.
yep, I got it. Okay, we have a fiscal year 18 motor vehicle refund in the amount of $1,474.17.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Or do you have more?
Nope, just
Just
that.
that one?
Yeah, just that. I'm just, you know why I'm running down
Yep.
this. But,
Making sure you're not getting a check, huh?
yep, exactly. Okay, that runs to quite a number of people. Any further comments or questions?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The next is a request for a reserve fund transfer for the fire department, and I'm going to ask that, hang on. Okay. I'm going to ask that we defer the request on the wages because I read the chief's explanation of it and it was not entirely clear to me. And we still have 13,400 in that account, so it's not like they're not going to be
Zero.
able to pay. Again, unless other people object, I'm going to be meeting with him on Wednesday, so
No, I was gonna ask you if you'd talked to him, so.
okay. Yeah, I got the explanation after I talked to him last week, so I haven't had a chance to. To take a vote to request the expenses for the fire department. There are only $234 in that account, and I did find the explanation as far as expenses, most of which were attributable to a fairly expensive repair to the ambulance. I found that one understandable. So I would accept a motion to request a reserve fund transfer for fire and EMS department expense.
So moved.
Second?
Any comments or questions on that?
Nope.
No.
Anybody from the floor? I just thought you might be interested in it. Okay. All right, then. Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's for you. And we'll put that on the agenda for next week. Or actually, why don't you wait, because you're not, are you back? You're
I'm
not
not
back on
back
Monday,
next.
right? I mean, it's not, I think there's enough in that line item that we could wait until we were all back and can talk about that.
Okay.
Do you want me to wait until you tell me, or 2 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks should be fine. I mean, because I'll talk to him tomorrow, but I'd like all of us to be here for that one.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
Okay. The next one is Treasurer Vendor Day approval.
I don't think you really need to give it, but
All right. hang
Dennis
on,
said he
'cause
was gonna try to expand it over prior years and take over a couple of rooms during the daytime. There's plenty of room available.
Yep. All right, I take a motion indicating we have no objection to that.
So moved?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The next is to appoint Deborah Rolfe as an alternate member of the Agricultural Commission. I presume the Agricultural Commission has approved this?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve Deborah Rolfe as an alternate member of the Agricultural Commission.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Nope.
All right, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go.
Okay. While we were in volunteers, I just, did you get the volunteer application for the person for ZBA?
For the ZBA?
Yep.
I didn't, Leanne probably did, but she is out, she had a death in the family, so.
Okay, because you have
Yeah,
a
just
good
overnight.
applicant, I think, for.
Okay, yep. Thank you. All right. Why do I doubt the word final on the top of this thing, given all the changes we've had? The next is sitting as Personnel Committee to approve the list of individual fiscal year 19 pay rates. What changes have we made since last week? None?
We only, we agreed 2 weeks ago when we worked on the firefighters, and you were gonna bring the list that the chief gave to your meeting with the chief to fix at his end, but at our end, you felt that they were all fixed,
Yep.
all the different titles.
Yep, and I didn't have, because I was in Boston so much of last week. I'm having my meeting with him on Wednesday, so.
Wanna hold?
Yes, why don't we hold on that?
Okay.
2 weeks.
This one you can
Yeah.
put on this week. This is, I think,
Okay.
uncontroversial at this point.
That's just writing down what we've already done, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Or, yeah, unless when,
Again. and-
yeah, there are a couple of
It's okay.
inconsistencies, and
It's
if the
all good.
inconsistencies mean we have to
It's
change
all
this,
good.
I don't think it will, but I want to go over that. Regional dispatch, we have,
Chris?
We have a budget. That's the correct number. So, yeah. I brought it back. I checked with Chief Galvin to make sure that's what he'd given to the FinCom, and it was correct, so we are good.
okay,
Motion to approve?
yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
No, I believe it's up maybe $20,000.
21,000, yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, my only comment is final, like, man,
I know,
wow,
like pulling teeth.
yeah. All right then, hearing no further comments or questions, none from the floor. We'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Today happens to be my birthday, and so
Oh.
I almost wrote,
birthday.
3/26/54. Because when I write those figures, that's the one I write after. Anyway, but I caught myself. All right. Okay. ATM preparation. Anything we have to do on that tonight?
If you don't have anything you'd like to do to it, no.
No. Okay. No. Okay. And do we now have a copy showing that, how we're indicating the,
Second day?
yeah,
No,
okay. Well, why don't you and I work on that on Wednesday?
we can do that.
All right?
Thank you, Eloise.
Thank you, Eloise.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on the annual town meeting?
Nope.
Okay. All right, then. A couple of things, scheduling for next week. When do you get back?
I get back on the 4th.
On the 4th, which is Wednesday?
Yep.
So you're available Thursday, perhaps?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
It's back
Well, I have
to
to be
work.
here for police union at like 8:30 in the morning, so, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to have the meeting Thursday?
Okay.
I think that can be
Just
done.
be aware that I will be on a 3-hour time change difference, and it will be my first day back.
How do you feel about that, Mary? She's likely to be grumpy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
All right. All right. And I apologize for,
So we're talking
So,
about Thursday next
the
week.
5th. You okay for that?
I am. I think we have a meeting that night too, correct? Town management.
7 o'clock, you do.
Meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
What time are we saying?
Do you want
You guys are trying to.
what works for you if you have that 8:30 police union meeting? You think 9:30?
Let's, yeah,
9:30?
let's go for 9:30.
All right, let's book that for 9:30. And that is the selectmen. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And then Mary will get together on Wednesday just to do stuff. I think the job description document and everything, as I said, I think it's good enough for prime time, or at least for government work at this point, to
Okay.
serve as a.
So I answered 9:30 is fine. If that-
Yeah.
Or earlier?
Well, what I was going to say is, at 9, I have to be back at my house at 10:30 for a call. I need to speak to June, but she gets in early, so I can shift my meeting. How, do you think that about 45 minutes is going to be enough time? Do you think we
No,
need?
but I can, how about 9:15 and then?
9:15 is fine. No, I'm just saying,
Okay.
I had suggested that time because I thought you usually got in around then, so I can shift. I think I only have about half an hour or so with June, so I can shift hers a bit earlier.
Okay,
Okay, so we'll meet here at 9:15.
very good.
And that'll give us an hour,
Okay.
or even an hour and 10 minutes, because it only takes me 5 minutes to get home.
Okay.
All right? Updates, I don't know if anybody drove through the center of town, but
Lisa told me.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting there. They said they were going to be here for 2 days, so I don't think they'll have finished today, but I think we may finally be nearing the end of that process. This is doing the electrical work to hook up the three-phase power to the 1870 Town Hall. So we've been waiting a long time on National Grid for that, and it looks like we're very close to having it done.
I went to call him and tell him he did good work.
Yeah.
Hmm?
We spoke to Senator Tran today, Lynn and I,
Uh-huh.
and one of the things we talked about was the fact that we couldn't get National Grid out to hook up the electricity.
And then who's
And then
out
it was
there?
there. I
Yeah,
said to
didn't I
Lisa,
text you when you were in the
"Boy, I don't
meeting
know."
or something? Yeah.
Yeah. Does he work fast or what?
I guess. Yeah.
I'm sure he'll take credit.
Yeah, I actually had Tim verify that it was the transformers they were putting up. I'm like, drive by there, look at the.
Yeah, I could
Look
tell
at
they
the
were the
ball.
transformers. They're finally there, yeah. So, I think we'll probably have an ETA for the town hall on next Monday's meeting.
Yes.
Let's see, I'm meeting also with the two police chiefs to sort of put together a report that talks about the sort of steps and stages that we're doing in terms of the evolution, of public safety. The, if you will, sort of tiers, the levels of increase and what you sort of get for each of those. I sat down with the two of them 2 weeks ago now, and they have, been working on facts and figures, so we're gonna have a working lunch tomorrow and, try to move that along.
Okay, cool.
I think. I did get further information from DEP on the administrative consent order. I'd asked for, sort of forms and reports and guidance so that I could read it, and as we, organize this going forward, would have some idea of what I was talking about. And so they sent me a wonderful package of forms and reports. There were, I think, 8 attachments. I said I look forward to the interesting reading, but anyway. We got that. They did say that it would take them a while, as they had said at our previous meeting, which is fine with us, to actually come out with the next draft of the administrative consent order. And I think those are the main things for me over the week.
Okay. Would you like me to?
Yeah.
All right. Lynn and I met with Dean Tran this morning, and Chief Galvin stopped in to talk about getting the support of the senator for money for police training.
Mm-hmm.
And the differential he talked about between the fire grants and money that's available for fire, and there's not as much available for police, and Senator Tran's aware of it and says, well, I don't know, did he say he would work on it?
I'm sure he did.
We explained, Lynn and I explained the issue that the town of Berlin has with 40B. He was going to look into, was it legislation?
Well, I think let's see, the particular thing that he was concerned with or didn't think was viable, right? Whether or not they could do that. I don't think he understands the process. I think he will now educate himself.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about, it's 9.5%, we're at 9.5%.
Mm-hmm.
Things that some individuals have done, we think, or we feel may be to circumvent things. And of course, he's an advocate of low and moderate housing, and I told him I was very proud of what our community has done.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 15 years, how they've,
Mm-hmm.
addressed the issue of the lack of low and moderate income housing. But I think it had to do with, he knows we're in negotiation, or arbitration.
Mediation, yes.
With one set now. And I don't think he really understands the process.
Yeah, I'm
too
sure.
well.
It's,
Although he did say he served on the planning board up at Fitchburg
Huh?
for a
Right.
while.
well, that's hopeful.
So that's kind of helpful. He did promise to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about needing more incentive for school regionalization. He said he has signed a letter supporting 100% reimbursement for transportation, which is not at 100% at
Not
the
even
moment.
close.
What's that?
Not even close.
Right.
No.
I said that would be more helpful if,
And that would apply to existing regions, not just.
yes, I think it would.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Because
Um,
obviously, most of our transportation is already.
At the region it is.
Yeah, okay.
He seemed to support the 100% because there is legislation to make it 80%. But I think he's going on the fact that, well, way back when you promised, and you haven't kept your promise.
Right.
And I just told him that I understand some of the legislators don't want to do that because they're afraid we won't be frugal. If you get 100% reimbursement and you don't have a dog in the fight.
What,
So,
then we send kids to work,
and I
to
said
school
if
in
you-
Uber or something? Is that what
Well, I
they're
said if
doing?
the 80% is subject to appropriation like the 100% is, it
What's the
wouldn't be
difference?
a
Yeah.
step forward.
Right. Yeah. I talked about the 1870 Town Hall project that we've done. I mentioned there might be a possible library project in the future. And there's the renovation to the top floor of this building for fire.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know numbers for these projects, so that it's something he can perhaps earmark and get us money for. When money comes in, then he knows, you know, that he could send it to Berlin. We ran into Tim Wheeler, who happened to be meeting with some people from Complete Streets too. And that also is a project that might be helpful to, if he gets numbers and that kind of thing. That might also be helpful to turn over the information to the senator. We had lots of visitors at the meeting this
Oh,
morning.
good.
Not only did Tom Galvin stop in, but Officer Goulding stopped in at the meeting to ask for support for the police programs and police teaching at the schools. He is the officer who
Yeah,
does
the
programs.
resource officer
Yes.
for that, yeah.
So that took probably 15, 20 minutes, but I talked about healthcare. Lynn and I talked about the Cadillac tax, which I'm not sure he was real familiar with. We explained it to him a little bit.
I have a feeling he will be within the next week or so.
Exactly. So, and I think that was about it.
Mm.
He did say something to the effect, well, maybe there's something that we can do legislatively to fix it for Massachusetts, because I told him it was a federal issue.
Yeah.
But he thought there might be some way they could help mitigate it.
Well, actually, I had stopped, when I was talking to June, the week before last, Dennis came through and indicated that we finally got the final figures on health insurance was, I believe, a 6% rise this year, which was less than we expected.
Well, that's good.
And of course, that's what we have to go with this year. But that brief conversation and this thing, it just reminded me of it, that we, and David Goulding also reminded me of it, that one of the things I think we really do need to look at is bringing our healthcare more in line with sort of industry practice. We have extraordinarily low deductibles. I mean, I don't know if it's changed, but the last time I looked, I mean, there were some deductibles that were like $5 and stuff like that, and those are the things that drive up premiums. So I did talk to Dennis, and I said early this year we really need to call the Insurance Advisory Committee back together and get an early start on that, and that we need to be tough, and if people do not come to that committee, we should indicate them that absence, betokens consent with what the rest of us decide. So that's
Good.
that's a good thing to
Yeah.
raise. Thank you.
And we did talk about how sometimes the unions are one of the issues as far as negotiating the Cadillac tax or the cost of health care for employees, so.
Yeah, and I mean, employees pay, a percentage of it. So this, when you lower the cost, you also lower the cost for the employee, obviously. You increase some things, but, there is a benefit to, to employees as well. They're paying 25% of this, and obviously it depends on somebody's experience in the year or whatever, but it's not, it's not like this
not a
benefit
lose.
runs purely to the town.
Right, it's
So,
not a lose-lose.
Yeah, yep.
Right. Yeah, I think that was about it. I did have a question if we,
Yeah.
maybe Lisa would like to,
Yep.
do you have some things to talk about?
Oh, just, there's a new section on the website called Annual Town Meeting Supporting Documents. It has the Town Management Study Committee up on, report up on it. It has the plans for the, playground and for the wellness trail, and we'll add things as they come in if there are any documents that would be helpful for town meetings, so that's out there. The IT committee will also be starting to work on the town IT policy, because that hasn't been touched since 2011. And they're gonna start looking to see whether there is some way to smooth the budgeting process out and make that a little bit more automated.
Okay. I just had, I guess I wanted to double check with you two about the articles that the FinCom wants to turn back to the town. And the one from 2016, it was the hiring the interim chief. I assume that one is a good one to return to the town.
Yep.
And then
How much is that one, do you know?
that one is
15,000.
15,000.
Okay.
And I know that Eloise, I was with Eloise when she sent an email to your husband about the energy audit money, and turning that back to the town.
Okay, he wasn't even sure what that was, and the thought was that that was maybe something that was originated by the school and not the energy committee.
I don't think so.
So you think the energy committee? Because I don't think
Eloise-
anybody, Eloise thought the energy committee?
Eloise,
What was the
Okay.
annual, what was the
The
annual
thing-
town meeting year?
it was Article 25 in 2016.
Okay. Well, we can look at that, and that'll tell us what it was.
What it was.
Mhm.
And it was
Um,
for $25,000, so I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that it was okay to turn it back.
Okay.
Do you have the
Um,
2016 report?
I think it's voted in 15. to
15,
take
yep.
effect in 16.
There were just three of them that I was double checking on. The others, I don't think
Okay.
were an issue. The other one was 2015 special town meeting, unpaid federal state withholding.
Yeah.
And I assume that's okay to go
How much is left in that?
12,000?
Yep. Okay. Voted to raise and appropriate $25,000 for the purpose of obtaining an energy audit for the public safety municipal building and Berlin Memorial School. Said sum to be expended by the Board of Selectmen.
Okay. So
So it
that must
is-
have been from energy.
Yep.
Now, they won't meet again until the 13th, I don't think. So I can have him look by then, and there's still time to take it off, I
Yeah.
assume, so.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll leave it, I guess, up till town meeting.
Town meeting.
Yeah, even on town meeting, you can
Okay.
vote
Right.
it. Yeah.
I know, I will
But I
talk to
just
him
wanted to
again.
make you aware, I thought those were ones we're responsible
Yep,
for.
and they are, thank you.
And
Yep.
the other one about the withholding, is that would be us too?
Yes.
And I don't remember
Yes,
that
we have.
article was for
Uh,
specifically.
Yes. That was for, that was a situation where the payroll company had absconded
That's
with
what I
funds,
thought.
and it was an amount to pay the state and federal withholding taxes that had not been done, so we would not continue to accrue interest.
So that's probably.
And those monies have been paid.
Right.
I can confirm that with June and Dennis on Wednesday, but
Well,
yeah.
June is the one sending out the email, so I would assume she's okay with it.
Good, okay, yeah, I mean,
No?
my understanding is that's all been paid.
Okay,
So I think we got to be able to take that off.
all right. You know, have you talked with June?
She's been asked, she wanted departments to respond as to
So-
whether they were okay with these being
So-
closed up, because she knows that
I would
several of
assume
these
it-
sums are, I actually have plans to be spent this spring. But some departments actually haven't even answered her on that, so she's leaving it up to whatever the FinCom is opting to do, because she
Okay.
doesn't feel like she has say over that.
Well, we'll just check to make sure we're all set then.
Yep. I can pop in and talk to Dennis
Okay,
on Wednesday morning too, but yeah, and my understanding that was all paid a couple of years ago, because obviously the reason we wanted to fund that was we wanted to stop the accrual of interest, and we
Right.
actually, we actually got sort of a benefit to, interest on, we got all penalties waived and
Yes.
a benefit to interest on the state side, because we just did a settled amount on that. So to have that money and to be able to do that actually helped us to mitigate the cost of that mess.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I guess on the same topic, do any of those need to go back to cultural or any of the mitigation funds,
I
or
don't
are they
think
all?
so.
There were two small ones,
Well, not cultural.
I just want to make sure because of the question on
not
the
cultural,
language
but the
there.
capital.
Yes, and I wasn't sure about that one.
No, and I had suggested to them, and the article is broad enough to return it to capital.
Okay, they are not happy about
About-
the change that we made to the language.
So in the draft, I've left
Well,
both.
there's a lot I'm not happy
Okay.
about
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah, I
Um,
was just trying to, I guess.
Yes.
Figure out,
I mean, we can
where
talk
we stood
about
with
that,
that.
but
Okay.
the amounts that we have that go into that are very small change. I mean, they're, as I remember it, they were like less than a couple $1,000s a piece.
Yeah.
yeah.
And my feeling was they should go back in.
But
They
I
I
spread-
would agree.
Yeah.
I would
Yes.
agree.
Yeah, so we'll,
I just passing on the message because I did go to the
it's okay,
FinCom
we shoot
meeting.
messengers.
Oh,
I
yes.
know, apparently.
Yeah.
And they also passed on the message, which is why.
Yes,
I was
yes, they
asking.
did.
Because if none of them needed to go back, then obviously it didn't matter, but if some of them need to go back, then that's appropriate.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we'll deal with it on town floor if we have to, but I think it's worded correctly for,
No, I think the point is, we worded it in such a way
yes.
that any of the alternatives could be made in a motion. We just
Mhm.
didn't want to, at this point, limit the
Limit it
possible
to-
results. So it's not like we cut out
Yeah.
their alternative. It can absolutely be put into stabilization fund
Mm-hmm.
under that article. We just didn't want to limit it at the article level and leave a little more time to talk, so we could actually limit it at the motion level. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna
Thanks,
strike
Brittany.
out of the draft then, the FinCom's stabilization only, and leave it the broader selectmen.
Leave it as an article, leave it at the broader.
Okay.
As I say, we can decide, and I think we've agreed that the vast majority of that can be made under a motion that will go into stabilization. There's a couple of little items that we might like the motion to say to go back into the mitigation account from which it came. And they're very short money. I don't know why they'd be all that in a twist about it, but. Anything else?
And no word on regionalization language that you know of, Chris.
I forwarded, I have a meeting tomorrow night, the regionalization subcommittee. I believe I forwarded an email, but I don't know whether the language is exactly what, I can make sure that the language they sent in an email, which could have been just a draft that we're working on tomorrow night, is final.
Okay.
I'll give you the final word after tomorrow night.
Now, if that went through their legal, does it have to go through?
What's that?
If it went through their legal counsel, does it also have to go through our legal counsel? Just curious.
Typically, we put the whole warrant in front of our,
Yeah.
our council, but we can make, we can make a note, we send that, don't get involved in the weeds on that one to, regular town council has already gone through
Right.
council to the region.
And he's been at every meeting, the
Okay.
legal counsel.
Yeah, so it just takes a little off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
all right. Anything else?
No, I think I have a Tohoto Building Committee meeting Thursday
Thought we
night.
just built that place.
I know. We did.
Wait a minute.
We did. I think this is to, hopefully to dissolve the committee.
Oh, okay,
That's
gotcha.
how-
Okay, you should lead with that.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
really? It's like, wow.
So I'm
Like,
not
no,
shot, the messenger
please.
not shot again?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
All right.
Are you all set? I was gonna
I-
make,
Nope, I'm good.
Anything from the floor? Nope. No.
then I will like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.